Very likely you want to be a little healthier than you are now, or if you are already super healthy, is to maintain that as long as you possibly can. That's one of the reasons I do what I do as a chiropractor, and I consider myself a wellness doctor, and that's what we've talked about if you've watched any of my shows, if you've come into my office. We, of course, expanded into that. Being a chiropractor, we focus on the spine and neuromusculoskeletal system, of course. But if you stick around long enough, we get into all subject matters of wellness as best we can. The object is to move the needle, kind of steer the ship in the right direction, so tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you can actually, for a lot of people, be healthier than you are now. Here we are recording this in February of 2022, and the patients that are coming into me now, the newer people that are coming in, and we're starting to steer that ship with these wellness categories I'm going to talk about in just a moment, is we start nudging them. After we deal with the acute complaints, and hopefully we deal with them pretty quickly in the office, then we can start to move on the other aspects of wellness. Some people dive in and are working with me and they are very interested in that. Other people are not. So this is for the people that want to improve their health so down the road they have a lower chance of chronic disease. They have more chance of having energy for their relationships and their children and their work and their hobbies and athletics and whatever it is. You just want to enjoy the days that you have. So that's what I mean about wellness, where to begin. And so we're going to get started with our list here. Of course, the list starts with nutrition. So we have 7 things we're going to talk about. Number 1 is always nutrition, right? For a lot of people, it's the most difficult thing. And if we look at somebody who needs a complete makeover, let's say you need a complete makeover in nutrition, and you know who you are, right? It looks so overwhelming, and you've been eating a certain way for such a long time, you're like, I can't do this. Or you try something and it's so different and so restrictive that you can't stay with it, right? So then you either never get started or you get started and you stop, and that's the New Year's resolution, right? And you're good for 10 days or 20 or January, and then it all falls apart and then you just throw in the towel, right? So what is a couple things? Well, we've talked about this in previous shows, and here's a couple things. Number 1, no snacks after dinner. No snacks after dinner. So after you have dinner, and if you keep on snacking after that, you're packing more gas into the gas tank, and then you go to bed. What happens when that happens, right? Well, first thing is the fuel has nowhere to go. It's not being utilized at that time. You're really not moving very much, so it gets converted over to fat. It stresses the liver. The liver's trying to detoxify the body during sleep, but now it has to deal with this big meal and all these calories and so forth. So then we have a conversion into fat, and that's a problem. Secondly is every time you're eating, you're getting an insulin release. When you're getting an insulin release, the whole body thinks it's time to wake up because here we are, we have insulin, right? No, so the body has a difficult time getting to and staying asleep, so it's going to affect the sleep cycle. So there's a couple reasons why no snacking after dinner can be huge for most of you. So that's one thing. Number 2 is I talk about 10%. This is, again, dealing with the nutrition aspect. 10%. Try to make your dinner 10% smaller. And across the board, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, try to eat 10% more vegetables. 10% smaller dinner, 10% more vegetables across the board. That's it. Look at those 2 things, no snacking after dinner, and look at 10% decrease in size of dinner and 10% more vegetables across the board. That's it. See if you can do that. Get started. That's a nutrition thing. Number 2, exercise. If you're a regular exerciser, you've got that. You can move on to the other 6 things, right? If you're not regularly exercising or not enough, start wrapping your head around the priority of exercise. And a lot of people think, okay, so that means I've got to join a gym. I'm going to be there for an hour doing that circuit, half an hour of cardio, half an hour of weights, or whatever it is that you might be thinking about, right? It doesn't have to be that way. How about this? Maybe you're not going to work out at home. So when I talk to people about this, I say, do you have any workout equipment at home if you're not in a nice weather area year-round? And you can't walk outside, run outside, ride a bike outside, whatever it might be, okay? So you need inside workout equipment, okay? Let's say you're living in an area that has snow and ice and you need to have indoor workout options, okay? So you know yourself, if you're gonna get a piece of cardio equipment or resistance bands or balls or whatever it is at home, are you gonna use them? Yes or no? Somebody says absolutely, other person says, I'm not sure. that person over here probably needs a gym membership. This person over here, they're going to work out at home, okay? So you know who you are. Whatever camp you fall in, there you go. Then what you do is you schedule it in. So every day you schedule in, whether you use a Google Calendar, your phone, whatever they're using, piece of paper, and you're making up your calendar, you schedule in the workout. And it only needs to be 15 or 20 minutes. Get clearance with your doctor first, it's appropriate to exercise, and then get started. It can be something very simple. The idea is this. I ask people this question frequently. What's better for overall exercise? Walking 1 mile a day, 7 days a week, or walking 7 miles on Sunday and nothing else for the rest of the week? Of course, walking 1 mile a day, 7 days a week is much, much better. So I'd rather see somebody do 20-minute workouts 6 days a week than a 2-hour workout on Sunday and nothing else for the rest of the week, okay? So carve it in. You can wrap your head around a 20-minute workout. Let's say you're a person that's going to get a gym membership, and then you talk yourself out of it all the time. I have to drive to the gym, I have to find parking, I have to take a shower after I work out, I'm going to be there for an hour. I don't have that kind of time. But if you can go in right after work and work out for 20 minutes and then head home, or you go in there right before work, 20-minute workout, and then get to the office. If you can do that, you're getting the job done, so you can check it off. There's ways to get the exercise thing going. Okay, spine. So a lot of people, obviously, the most common reason they come into my office is neck pain, lower back pain, acute, chronic arm and leg discomfort, shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees, feet problems, and so on and so forth, okay? So that's the main reason people come in. Neck and back is number one for sure, okay? So I've done a couple of videos on this before where we've talked about you can give yourself a challenge. If you're not going to come into my office or a chiropractor's office for an evaluation, you could try this. After you talk to your doctor, say, hey, I want to try this stretch. So you've got a chronic neck problem, and I have a video that says one stretch for your neck. So you pull your shoulders back, you pull your head back to comfort after getting a doctor's approval, okay? And you hold it for 10 seconds. And you do 2 of them in the morning and 2 of them at night. And you do that for 30 days, don't miss. And see what happens with your neck, okay? Maybe it's not appropriate to do that, so that's why you need to check with your doctor if you have spinal stenosis, if you've got disc herniation with nerve root compression, and so on and so on, okay? So check with your doctor first. Or if you have chronic lower back issues, you can go on my video page and check this out. One stretch for your lower back, and that stretch is lying flat on the floor or your bed if you can't climb on the floor. Your knees are bent, and you gently just rock the knees side to side 10 times or more in the morning and 10 times at night. That's it. There's your spinal deal, okay? A third thing you might say, okay, I can play with this, Dr. Fuller. I have a chronic neck or back problem. Once an hour, I'm going to pull up tall for 20 seconds. And I'm going to do that whether I'm working, I'm driving, I'm working out, or whatever. I'm just going to work on my posture once an hour all day. And that'll be the third thing that I'm going to do for my spine. If that doesn't work, maybe you need a chiropractic evaluation, medical evaluation, or whatever. But that's how we deal with the spine issue, okay? This is how you get started chipping away at these things. Number 4 is sleep. It's something that a lot of people have trouble getting enough of in particular. So I did a show on sleep, and one recommendation that we had in there, it's very, very simple, is set an alarm to go to bed. Set an alarm to go to bed. If you know you do much better at getting to bed at 10, but it's kind of like 11 or 11:30, set an alarm at 9:30 so you can wrap it up and get yourself into bed. That's one of the best things that you can do, and try to do that 7 days a week. Make adjustments depending on your work schedule and so on and so forth. Set an alarm to go to bed. Simple little exercise. There you go. A second thing that you can do with sleep is try not to be on your phone or computer for an hour before you go to bed, unless you're using blue light filter glasses and so forth. That light stimulates the area of your brain to release chemicals that says it's time to wake up. Okay? So try to stay away from electronics before you go to bed. And that's how you can get started with the sleep thing. Just start nudging that a little bit earlier, and a lot of people get mileage out of that. Next is a big one, stress. So I think this is the most important thing in people's health that's never talked about enough, is dealing with chronic stress. There's a variety of tactics and techniques. There's apps on your phone. There are sleep aids. There's meditation programs and videos and people and books and podcasts and so forth. There's plenty of information out there of changing things. And it can be from Tony Robbins' work to Louise Hay meditations to Joe Dispenza meditations to whoever. Just pick somebody. Wayne Dyer. Just pick an author, a video, an audio recording or something to start steering your way in that direction. One way of dealing with stress, I've talked about this many times, is turn off the news. Turn off the news and turn on something that's going to build you up, right? And start changing your mental focus. And that's going to be huge. Of course, we deal with the stress component of our list here. You're going to make better decisions in all the other 6 areas as well. So start looking into that. Make a commitment that I'm going to do deep breathing exercises for 2 minutes in the morning. I'm going to meditate for 4 minutes before I go to bed. Whatever it might be. At lunch, at work, I'm going to meditate for 3 minutes before I go back to work. Whatever it is, just employ little slices of tactics that you can do to start moving the needle and reducing the chronic stress. And all chronic stress is just continuously thinking about events, and it's usually things in the past that can't be changed, or prophesizing a negative future. That's usually where stress is, as opposed to staying right in the moment, right? So look into that for sure. Number 6 is supplements. There are great supplements that people can take that can help their immune system, help their brain function, and so forth. I've covered these in other shows. An easy way to get started is look into check with your doctor first so you don't have any interactions between supplements and medications. Check with your doctor first. Omega-3 essential fats, fish oil. So look into that. Vitamin D and magnesium. There's a good place to get started. Maybe some vitamin C as well, okay? Get started with some simple supplements. Go look at we've done 4,000 shows on supplements, so you can just check out one of those and get some guidance there. And the last one, we actually put this aside here. I had discussions with several patients today about water intake. I have a great short video called Water Rules, and we talk about making sure you're getting enough water in. You're getting enough water earlier in the day, not later in the day, so you have to get up more during the night. And again, if you're on medications, check with your doctor first. If you're only drinking 20 ounces of water, don't go to 80 all at once. That could be a problem. Again, check with your doctor about that first, but start nudging that up. And we've got a nice little plan on how you can increase your water intake and getting it to the right amount. And keep in mind too, you can drink too much water. Water is hormetic, like a lot of things in life. No water is bad. Too much water is bad. The right amount of water is the right amount. The same thing across the board. Exercise. Not enough, no exercise is bad. Too much exercise is bad. The right amount is the right amount. Hormesis or hormetic. That's what we're talking about here. And hopefully we can accomplish this in all of these areas of our wellness. Dig in. Good luck. Let me know. I'm Dr. Scott Fuller.